So, one of the most common issues I've seen people have with iPhones is related to photos, videos, and storage. We've all got a ton of photos and videos on our phones these days, and maybe you've been getting that notification that storage is full or iCloud is out of space. And maybe you've been trying to delete things to free up space, like old photos and videos, so that you can take new photos and videos. This is an absolute nightmare. You may have even decided at some point to try a third-party tool like Google Photos to help manage things or maybe save money, and I'll talk more about that later, but regardless, ultimately you're afraid these memories are going to somehow get lost or deleted forever. I've even seen instances where people are afraid to get a new iPhone because they're afraid that if they do, they're going to lose all their photos and videos from their current phone. What you need is a place to keep your memories safe without having anxiety. You need to free up the space on your phone, and you need to have all your photos and videos in one easy to manage place where they're safe, they're easily accessible, they're easily shareable with family and friends, they're automatically backed up should something actually happen to your iPhone. And you need all of this to work without having to mess around with a bunch of settings. So this video is going to be simple, practical, and it's going to focus on saving you time and storage, which ultimately means saving you money. You should be able to use the Photos app on your iPhone with ease and without having to worry about any of these things. So I'll show you how Apple Photos works today, that is January 2026, because it works so much better than it used to. I'll also show you the one simple setting for Apple Photos that will free up space on your iPhone without ever losing any of your photos or videos. I'll also make a one-page cheat sheet that will show you exactly which iCloud plan you need to buy from Apple based on how many photos and videos you have today, so you don't waste money on storage you don't need. And you can always easily change your storage plan later when and if you need it. And don't worry, I'll show you how to easily do all this right on your iPhone screen. Oh, and if you're still using Google Photos on your iPhone, because it actually used to make a lot of sense for iPhone users to do this, today it really doesn't make much sense. I'll show you how to get all your photos and videos back from Google Photos over to Apple Photos in a way that's really simple and it won't lose any of your photos and videos. So welcome back to my channel, and pardon my more nasally than normal voice. I'm actually coming off a little head cold here. If you're new to my channel, my name is Dan Fox, and I have been professionally helping people navigate technology for over 30 years. I'm not always talking about the most trendy technology out there, though sometimes I am, but I really want to talk about the most practical and useful technology for you in the form of which devices and how to use the devices that you already have. Ultimately, my goal is to make your technology use easier and often to save you money. So, Photos on your iPhone. The Photos app comes on every single iPhone since the very first one, and these days it's actually a very powerful library that keeps all your photos and videos organized and highly searchable. There's also a bunch of built-in tools right in the Photos app now, but just know that the Photos app has become so much more than just your camera roll. But back to the main point of the video here is, how does the Photos app keep your photos safe, and how do you prevent your phone from running out of space when you're going to have an endless amount of photos and videos at some point? How do you get rid of those annoying out of space notifications or iCloud out of space notifications? So how does the Photos app keep your photos and videos safe, and how do you stop your iPhone from eventually running out of space because we're just going to keep taking photos and videos? Well, it can only do this if you use something called iCloud. It's super simple to use, it's super easy to enable on your phone, and I'm going to show you how to do that. But before I do, a couple of things real quick. iCloud is just a fancy word for Apple's own computers or servers that are spread out all over the world. These computers have massive amounts of storage on them for things like your photos and videos. Now, these servers are very secure, they're encrypted, which ultimately just means it's very unlikely that your personal information will ever get accessed by anyone but you. Of course, we all know nothing online is guaranteed, even banks can't guarantee this, but Apple is known in the industry for having very strong iCloud security, and personally, I have no problem putting all my photos and videos on iCloud. Now, you will have to pay for a monthly iCloud subscription plan from Apple to do this, but there's really no way to avoid that these days. Whether you're using Google Photos or any other photo and video storage provider, they all have a monthly charge, and most of them have a very similar price model. But Apple Photos and iCloud is the absolute easiest way to manage this for iPhone users. And I'm going to walk you through what size iCloud plan you need and exactly what the costs are, how to set all that up. But first, a few more details about iCloud and about the Photos app. Now, once we turn on iCloud on your iPhone, this is how it works. When you take a photo on your iPhone, it'll go into your camera roll just like normal. But when your iPhone detects it's on Wi-Fi, it will then make a copy of that photo out to Apple's server. Now, you probably don't care too much about what an Apple server is, but just know it's a computer that Apple has in one of their locations somewhere in the world. In fact, they have these servers in different locations all over the world. And when your iPhone copies that photo to that first server, it then starts making copies of itself to these servers all over the world. Now, why would you want it to do this? Put simply, so that if any of Apple's servers ever crash or stop working, you still have copies of your photos on their other servers and other locations. Now, you don't ever have to go get these photos. They automatically stay synchronized with your iPhone at all times. This effectively makes a backup of your photos. Now, how does this save space on your iPhone? Again, without you having to do anything, once that photo is safely copied out to Apple's server, the copy on your phone is replaced with a much smaller copy. But don't worry, the full-size copy is still sitting on Apple's servers. In fact, these smaller copies of photos and videos on your iPhone still look great when you open the Photos app and scroll through your photos. And if you ever want to download the full versions of these photos and videos, which you probably won't, you can do that too. So now let's say you've taken a bunch of photos and they've copied over to the Apple servers and thus been replaced on your phone with the smaller versions. And keep in mind, this is also the way it works if you turn on iCloud Photos when you already have a bunch of photos in your camera roll. It will take a while, depending on how many photos and videos you have, but eventually they'll all be replaced with these smaller versions. Now, I have over 100,000 photos and videos on my iPhone, all synchronized to Apple servers and replaced with the smaller versions, and it works great. But let's say you lost or destroyed your iPhone. As long as you had iCloud enabled for photos, you won't lose any of your photos and videos. Because when you get your new phone and log into it with your iCloud account, Apple servers will immediately start copying all your photos and videos back to your new phone. And it works very simply. Again, depending on how many photos and videos you have, this can take a while. And for me, when I get a new device, as you can imagine with that many photos and videos, it takes some time to get all the photos and videos synced back up to my phone. But the point is, I don't lose anything. In fact, if you have other devices like an iPad or a MacBook and you have those logged into iCloud as well, it works the same way. All the photos and videos in your library will also synchronize to those devices. And any edits you make, whether you edit a photo or video or delete one, that will all synchronize to all of your devices so everything is up to date at all times. This effectively makes sure that not only are all your photos and videos backed up safely and secure, photos and videos will never cause you to get those notifications on your iPhone about being out of space. And this is kind of a one-off, but it's pretty cool because if you have an Apple TV, using iCloud Photos will also enable you to view all your photos and videos right on your TV without having to copy any files anywhere, without having to configure anything. You can just turn your TV on, go to your photos, and start looking at your photos and videos. My wife and I do it all the time. But hey, real quick, if you're finding value in this video, please consider subscribing to my channel. And if you hit the little bell down by the subscribe button, you'll get notified anytime I post a new video so you don't miss anything. All this really helps my channel growth, and I really, really appreciate it. Thank you. All right, so this is the big one. This is the setting that you need to turn on your iPhone to prevent photos and videos from ever taking up all the space. This is literally a single setting on your phone called Optimize Photo Storage. So open the Settings app on your iPhone, and at the top of the menu, select where you see your name. On the next page, you scroll up just a bit and select iCloud. Now, your screen is going to look quite a bit different than mine because I am subscribed to other iCloud services. Ignore those details for now and just select Photos. When you get to the iCloud Photos section here, make sure Sync This iPhone is turned on and scroll down for that very important setting. Select Optimize iPhone Storage. And that optimized photo setting makes a crazy difference on how much space it's taking up on your iPhone for photos and videos because in the background, without you doing anything, Apple is actively adjusting the size of each of these files to make them smaller and make sure they never take up your drive space. And this just keeps happening even as you take more photos and more videos. For example, I have over 100,000 photos and videos in the Photos app. I'm using iCloud storage and I'm optimizing storage. On my phone, I'm only using about 31 gig worth of space. And even if you don't know what gig is, just know 31 gig is a tiny amount. They don't even make an iPhone with a 31 gig storage drive. So that's insane. This is automatically configured by Apple, and I haven't done anything to make this happen. It just keeps up with it as I keep adding things, as I keep recording. That number keeps lowering back down to about 31 gig. But interestingly, if I view these photos and videos on my MacBook, on my iPad, or even on my 100-inch television, which is connected to my Apple TV, they all look amazing. It's not like it has a degraded, blurry view. So I don't know how Apple does it, but it's amazing and I highly recommend it. I can't really think of any downside. So let's talk about how much iCloud storage you actually need based on how many photos and videos you have. And again, don't worry if you don't know what gig means because I'm going to walk you through which plan you need based on how many photos and videos you have with a little bit of room for growth. But again, you can always go back and add more space as you need it by upgrading your plan. It's really easy and you do it right on your phone. But here's the breakdown. Oh, and also if you don't know how to tell how many photos and videos you have, it's pretty simple. Open the Photos app and make sure you have a library selected at the bottom of the screen. Then up at the top of the screen, select the three little lines, click on the filter option, select Photos, and click outside that pop-up window and you'll see the number of photos up in the top left corner under Library. You want to see how many videos you have? You go back into the filtering system, select on Filter again, select Videos, unselect Photos, click outside that pop-up window again, and you can see the number of videos you have right there under your library. All right, so keep in mind this is somewhat subjective because photos and videos can be vastly different in size depending on how complex they are or how long the videos are. But generally speaking, I'm going to organize this based on how many photos and videos you currently have in your camera roll. Also, keep in mind that Apple gives everyone 5 gig of free iCloud storage. This is not nearly enough for really anyone that takes photos and videos on their phone, which is pretty much everyone. So Apple's first tier of a paid plan is 50 gig. And remember, don't worry if you don't know what gig means, but just know this is good for approximately 500 to 10,000 photos and about 10 to 50 short videos. The monthly cost for that is $99 US. And this is a good plan for those that maybe take 1 or 2 photos a day and occasionally take short videos. Apple's next tier of paid iCloud plans is 200 gig. This is good for about 10,000 to 50,000 photos and hundreds of videos. That might sound like a lot, but this is actually the best plan for most people. This one's $2.99. And as I said, best for most people, as long as you're not really heavy into video recording. Apple's next tier of paid plan is 2 terabytes. This is a big one, and it'll handle 50,000 to about 500,000 photos and up to around 2,000 videos. It's $9.99 a month, and it's good for heavy users or those with a large history or library of photos. For example, I have photos scanned going all the way back to the 1970s. Apple's next tier is the 6 terabyte plan, and this is a giant plan, good for 500,000 to about 1.5 million photos and many thousands of videos. This is a $29.99 a month plan, and really for people that are either professional photographers or videographers, or if you have a massive library of photos and videos. And Apple's top tier iCloud plan is 12 terabytes, good for approximately 1.5 to 3 million photos and tens of thousands of videos. This plan is $59.99 US a month and almost never used for personal use, typically for a company or a studio with a very large archive of photos and videos. So there's your one-page cheat sheet. I hope this helped you. I'm guessing that the 200 gig plan is probably perfect for you. And remember, you can always upgrade your plan at any time should you start getting notifications again that your iCloud storage is almost full. So now you should have some idea of which iCloud plan you need. Now let me show you how to select it and purchase it on your phone. So once again, you're going to open the settings on your iPhone and you're going to select your name at the top of the screen. Once again, you're going to scroll to where you see it says iCloud and select that. You're going to scroll down until you see Manage Plan and select that. Now, again, you're going to see something different than I see here because I'm already subscribed to an iCloud Plus plan. I'm also subscribed to something called Apple One. That's a whole nother discussion, maybe another video for another time. What you'll probably see here is the free 5 gig iCloud plan that is available to everyone and usually enabled on iPhones. If you select that, you'll come to a very similar screen where you can select See All Plans. And this is where you would select which plan you want to purchase based on the previous guide. Make your selection here and Apple will walk you through the purchasing process. So I don't want to spend too much time talking about Google Photos, but I just want to mention that it used to be free. And that was one of the big reasons that iPhone users used it way back then, but it is no longer free and pricing for Google storage is about the same as pricing for iCloud storage. And if you're an iPhone user that's still using Google Photos today, it's very easy to get all your photos and videos from Google Photos over to Apple Photos, and it's all done in the background. I'll provide a link in this video for Apple's guide, but essentially you're just going to log into this site on Google, select what you want to export, select where you want it to go, in this case Apple iCloud, and all of it happens in the background. When this process is complete, Apple will let you know, and you'll suddenly see all your photos and videos in the Apple Photos app. So that's it. I really hope this video helped you. If it did, let me know in the comments. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you next time.